guys, welcome back to the Drive and Drivel podcast, and welcome to season 2, episode 1. Glad to be back. Now, on this episode, it is just me in the studio. I will explain why very, very soon. But as you can see, just me, nobody in the usual hotspot, and I have an agenda. So this episode's going to be based around accidents. I'm going to go over some real life accidents that I've been involved in, both before I was an instructor and during. I want to talk about the importance of having a dash cam, and I'm going to show you some footage of some near misses and an actual accident that happened quite recently. Go over some statistics on why accidents tend to happen, some common causes and how it can affect you other than the obvious, dying or getting badly hurt. There's other things that can happen as well. We'll try and give you some advice on things that you can do to prevent it, and if it happens to you, I hope it doesn't happen to any of you, but if it does, we've got some hints and tips for you, and at that point we're going to make a bit of an announcement, so stick around for that. Alright then, jumping in here. Anyone who knows me knows that I like a good spreadsheet or a good table. Right, so here we go. In 2001, when I was a brand new driver and I hadn't been driving for very long, I had my first bump. Here's the deal, right? I'm driving on a main road. I'm turning right into a side road. I've got my indicator on. There's a van behind me. I knew there was a van behind me. I starts making my turn, and it just so happened to be at the same time as the guy in the van was overtaking me, and we collided. Now, I'm pretty sure that was both our faults. That's why I've put the blame on both, but the insurance company decided that he was in the wrong for overtaking. I would say the fault on my part was not checking my mirror, even though I would have been told by my instructor on my lessons, check your mirrors. Just like I do now with you guys who I'm teaching. Anyway, had I checked my right mirror, I would have noticed the van was there and I wouldn't have crashed. And 2 years later, this was my fault, 100%. Driving in a straight road, busy traffic, slow moving, I was distracted. I don't know. I was chatting to my passenger or something, and I didn't realise the car in front was stopping, and I just banged into the car. The guy got out, he had a look. I was very apologetic, but he just says, don't worry. So luckily I got away with that one. Right, skip forward a few years. On this one I had entered a roundabout. Fine, nothing on my right hand side. I was making my way around, and a lady entered when she shouldn't have, and I had nowhere to go other than right into her. So 95% her fault. Her insurance company did fix it and sort it all out. 5% blame on my part for being a little bit faster maybe than I should have. I was 24, you live and you learn. Anyway, moral of the story is don't go around roundabouts too fast, and don't enter when somebody's coming from the right. That's what she did. Right then, the next fault, I should say the next accident, was whilst I was working as an instructor. It was the end of a driving lesson. We were sitting parked in a car park, and a guy just reversed out of a bay straight into my car. Twice actually, didn't he? He bounced off us and hit the accelerator and hit us again. 100% his fault, and his insurance company sorted everything out. Alright, a few years later, on a roundabout, on a lesson, we had entered fine. A guy came on from the right, battered the side of our car and drove off and disappeared. Didn't stop. Now, luckily, I had a dash cam and I was able to pull the footage off of the dash cam and see clearly the number plate, and the police came and I showed it to the police, and it was a clear-cut case where he got in trouble for not stopping, and all because I had a dash cam. Right, speaking of, this is the dash cam I have. I highly recommend it. I'm not sponsored by them in any way, but it's been a good camera. I've had it a long time. And if you click onto that link there, you can have the same camera. Right, what I'm going to show you now is some footage taken from our dash cams that we come across every single day. Look at that. Look at this one. This car on the right just manages to force their way right in. How close is that to being an accident? That was sent in by one of our past learners. That happened to them. What about this one? Rear view. You can see the truck overtaking a car behind us. The truck then overtakes us, and as we're aiming for the middle lane, the truck just rams his way in there. And if you watch this again in slow motion, I had to really pull us out of the way. You'll see me pulling the wheel here. God damn it, that was close. That was a close one. What about this numpty? We are on a country road. There was a sign there saying if you are overtaken, get back in now. Look who's coming over the hill. It's the numpty. They decide that they want to overtake not just this car that you can see behind us, but they also overtake our car. You can clearly see these lines saying no overtaking. You wouldn't overtake the tractor on a bend, would you? No. Yeah, of course you would. Look at that. Numpty. What about this one? On a lesson, casually just minding our business, driving around the corner, not expecting somebody to just walk out in front of us without even a wee courtesy shoulder checky. Look at that. That's me pushing the car out so that we didn't maul the guy. This next one's a peach. Check this out, right? Middle lane for going straight ahead, right lane for turning right. What's this bus up to? Oh, I know what the bus is doing. He's just going to wreck, force his way around. Now, this next one was sent to us from Shanna, who's a driving instructor. This is a real accident that happened. Check this out. Oh, it's a sore one. She wasn't badly injured, her and her learner, and she gave us permission to use the clip. So, the importance of having a dash cam. Again, that's the link if you want to use it. I'll put these links in the description. So, that covers our personal experience and dash cams. Here's some stats for you. Right. Did you know that despite being designed to improve traffic flow and road safety, roundabouts account for about 1 in 3 accidents? Next fact. Almost 1 in 10 of all car accidents involve parked cars. It's a bit strange, eh? Okay, here we go. Young male drivers 17 to 24 are 4 times as likely to be killed or seriously injured compared to drivers over 25. That is shockingly sad. More than 90% of road crashes are because of human error, as opposed to a mechanical error or a car failing. Urban roads, which make up only about a third of the UK's road length are the sites of almost 3/4 of accidents. There you go. I don't know if you think that's interesting or not. What about this one? 1 in 5 new drivers will have an accident within the first year of passing their test. How sad is that? Within the first year. Right, common causes. This was taken from ChatGPT, April 2025, top 10, and a lot of this stuff is probably fairly obvious. Not looking properly, careless, driving in a hurry, not judging other people's speed or path, losing control, speeding, going too fast, alcohol. So don't do that. Don't do any of those things. You should be fine. Right. Here's some super obvious things, as in the consequences of accidents. You might die. You might get really hurt. And you might break bones and you might need surgery and all this kind of stuff. That's obvious, right? But did you know that there could be some emotional drama? People might get a bit scared to ever drive again. I've met people who tell me that, actually. I've met people that say that they had an accident when they were younger and it's really scared them. Maybe you'll get sued. Maybe there'll be legal consequences. Maybe your wallet is going to take a bit of a hit. Maybe if you do something really silly, you'll lose your license. And then you'd have to come back and sit your test again. Don't want that. Yeah. You don't want to have to sit your test again if you get banned. Time for more lessons. And if you love your car, maybe you're going to lose your precious little boy racer car or whatever it is you've got. And your insurance premiums might go through the roof for years after. And it's already getting expensive, and it's getting more expensive every year. Now see this one here, minor inconvenience. Yeah, it's true, it is a minor inconvenience. If, you know, you've got to make a phone call or you've got to sit and go through paperwork and that. And see this thing here, it says constant calls. See the companies that phone you and say, oh, you've been in an accident in the last blah, blah, blah. And, constant. I don't know where they get the information from. So, there you have it. There's the consequences, right? What can you do to limit the chances of being in an accident? Well, this will come as no surprise. Do what your instructor tells you to do. Be safe. Don't be distracted. Don't use your mobile. Check your mirrors. Check your blind spots. Know who's round about you at all times. Keep a good distance from the car in front. Don't show off if you've got your friends in the car. Watch your speed if it's raining. Don't drive if you're drunk. Don't drive if you've been taking drugs. Maybe don't take drugs. Don't drive when you're tired. Don't be tired. Go to sleep if you're tired. Take a day off work. Stick to the speed limits and traffic laws. Stop at stop signs. Don't almost stop at a stop sign and say, I thought I stopped. Use your indicators. Do you know there's certain cars that for some reason don't have indicators? Tell me in the comments who you think I'm talking about. Right, maintain your vehicle regularly. That little picture I've just put on the screen and that linked in the bottom left is what's called a tyre gauge or a pressure gauge or a tread gauge. And I have one in the car. I use it a lot, especially for the show me tell me questions, and people ask me quite often, where did I get it from? Well, do you know what? I got it from Amazon, and if you want to have your own, there's the link for it. It was only about £10, maybe £15, something like that. And it does both your air pressure and tread. Great little purchase, that. Right, watch what you're doing at roundabouts and junctions. Double check before you commit. And don't get road rage. It's tempting, but don't. Just stay calm. If somebody pisses you off, just leave them. They'll go past you. You'll never see them again. All right. Okay, so that is how you prevent an accident, or at least how you can help prevent it. Now, I'd like to make a little announcement. This is season 2 of our podcast. You can watch season 1 on YouTube and Apple and all the rest of it. But we're quite proud to announce that we have a sponsor. Now, how does that tie in with what to do if it happens to you? Well, I'm going to tell you. Right, okay. I'm so happy to say that our podcast has been sponsored by a company called Complete Accident Solutions Scotland. Now, we partnered up because we're in the same industry. We teach people to drive, bring in new drivers, onto the roads. And these guys, Complete Accident Solutions Scotland, or CAFS as they're known, are there to help you if you are in a non-fault accident. Now, we've been lucky enough to get the owner of the company, Shari, on the phone, and I'm going to play that phone call now because Shari will do a much better job than I can of explaining how they are there to help anyone if they are in an accident. So I'm going to play that now. On the phone, we've got Shari from Complete Accident Solutions Scotland, our sponsor of season 2, and I've got some questions to fire at you, and if you could answer them as best you can, it will give our listeners and our viewers an idea of what they could do and what you could maybe do for them. What does an accident management company do?
Well, we basically deal with the whole claims process for our clients, for someone that's been involved in an on-fault accident. The benefits of using an independent accident management company, Gary, is that there's no insurance excess to pay, no risk to your no claims bonus, so it doesn't affect it at all. We offer a like-for-like replacement vehicle, and in a lot of situations right now, your policy doesn't cover you for that. So if you're involved in an accident that's not your fault, if they deal with it directly through their insurance and stuff like that, and if you're not eligible through your policy for a replacement vehicle, then you have to be off the road without a car for as long as it takes to repair that vehicle. We'll offer a like for like replacement vehicle. Everything is managed independently and it's tailored to each individual client, so we don't treat everybody the same. We look at your needs and what way is going to work best for you. Insurance company, a lot of the time, they're owned by the same people, or insurance companies are looking to get a claim open and closed as soon as possible. That's not how we work. We'll look to get the outcome that you deserve.
So it's fair to say that an insurance company, even your own insurance company, might not be able to do the best for you. It might be they've got their own agendas or they've got their own budgets that they're trying to minimise paying out. Whereas if it's you guys that's handling the case, that there's more that you could do than them going through their own insurance.
Yes. If you're involved in an accident, it's not your fault. You've got dash cam. It's usually a relatively easy one to deal with, but other ones can be tricky, and that's when using an independent accident management company is your best choice, because we'll fight till the end to prove. I mean, even if we have to bring in our investigating team, we'll prove that you're not at fault if we honestly believe that that's the situation. I mean, we've had other incidences, Gary, where we're like, that we're looking at it and it's 50-50, and we'll be honest with our clients. But if we look at the scenario, if we look at the evidence and we think you've got a case, you're not at fault, then we'll fight till the end for you. Whereas insurance companies won't do that. But you phone your insurance company and they're going to go, yeah, but you never ticked the box, so the computer says no.
Yeah.
And that's it. Whereas we will be like, right, okay, we'll look at the situation, we're going to help you. It's okay, we're here. And we reassure the client.
And the point here is that you guys don't charge for what you do to the person that's been in this accident.
We
So if
don't charge a client.
so if it's not their fault, right? Someone hits them, they phone you. You're working for them. You're on their side. You're going to fight for them until the end result.
Yes.
I mean, when we first spoke, I remember saying to you, I says, I didn't realise this was a thing.
This is the fight that I have all the time, unfortunately, is that people don't know. I mean, that this for me was when we first kind of connected and stuff, and we talked about the podcast Drivel, and I thought this is perfect. Like, I felt that connection because I felt that you cared, you care about your drivers, you care about your team, and that's how we work. And I thought this is the perfect place for us to go to educate not just learner drivers, Gary, but yourself, instructors, people that are driving around, listening to that podcast. Everyone basically needs to know there's an option. Look at the options, look at what's best for you, because your insurance company isn't always the best option. Like, insurance companies don't want you to know about companies like us, and other accident management companies out there, because we help the client. I mean, if you go through your insurance company, they've already, when they go to get your vehicle repaired and stuff like that, if it's not a total loss, they've got their repair shops that are already contracted to do insurance work, but they only get a certain budget. So they can only, do what they can to your vehicle, which might just be, a cheap repair or whatever. Going through an independent accident management company means that we adhere to the ABP rates, the way that should be repaired. Parts are replaced. It's not, it's like genuine parts go back onto the vehicle, and everything's done correctly. And our working partners stay within the GTA rates as well, so that when they're actually billing the third party insurance company for the services, it's all been agreed beforehand. When you go direct to insurance companies, they've got like, they'll have certain shops within certain areas and there's a waiting list. If your vehicle's drivable, you have to wait a while for it to go in, and then it can take a couple of months, 2-3 months. Whereas our turnaround is much quicker. Um, we we're aiming at making sure that you're not out of pocket and there's like not that much inconvenience, because it's not your fault. So why should all that be happening to you? Why should you have to wait? Why should you have to drive around for months with a damaged car, when it's something that wasn't your fault? We try and move fast, we try and move quickly, we establish liability. Even beforehand, sometimes we'll do a credit repair, which means that we know we've got enough evidence to be able to just go on and repair that vehicle, and then just send the third party the bill.
So I'm driving, but someone hits me. It's their fault. I've got footage on my dash cam. I can easily, prove that it wasn't my fault. I phone you. I've just been in a bump. My car's sitting at the side of the road with a big dent in it. It wasn't my fault, and I can prove it. I've got evidence. What's the script for there? How does it go from there?
So basically, we would obviously establish whether the vehicle needs recovered or not. If that needed recovered, we would get that done ASAP.
So you would organise that. So just say the bash that we had was the car was undrivable. It needed a pickup truck to come and get it, a recovery truck. From the get go, that would be something that you would be able to organise
Yes.
rather than us having to phone around and find somebody. And
No, we could do that. Give us a call, and then we can go through the steps with you. That claim will then be put into the system, and then we'll just get on with what we should be doing, contacting the third party insurance company, getting the relative documents from the driver. We get all that together. Um, if they're injured, obviously, as I said, we can give them advice and point them in the right direction for that as well. And then that's as far as we're concerned. Once we've got all the paperwork and everything in place, we can then act on their behalf. So we'll deal with the third party insurance company. We'll organise a replacement vehicle, and whether that's straight away within 48 hours if the vehicle's not drivable, Gary, or when we've organised for the vehicle to go into one of our reputable repair shops. Then the vehicle will be organised with the client, so they'll know exactly what's happening throughout the claim. They get updated every 7 days unless they contact us before that. Then it'll go to 7 days again from the contact. Once their vehicle's ready, for collection, once it's been repaired, they pick it up. They leave their hire vehicle, and then we bring the fleet back, and that's it. Job done.
it just seems like all the stuff that's a nightmare to organise, and I've been involved in this over the years. It just seems like you take care of that.
Yes, I give a very personal service, and I team up with working partners that have similar values to myself. So that's a compliment to yourself, Gary. But I look for that, and that's what I said to you. Like my working partners, I mean, the working partners that we use, a handling office that deal directly with the insurance company, is an office. It's not a call center. It's people that they've got a name. You're not hanging on for ages. That kind of thing. It's different, and I'm always the first point of contact for my clients.
Right.
Whether that's coming in from one of my referrers directly, whether it's a repairer, whether it's one of my fleet companies, I'm always. I mean, most of our fleet companies, they'll use the app. We have an app for different things, which is one of the things we're going to be working on for yourself, as I mentioned, and it just makes it easier for drivers rather than panicking at the scene. If they can just open their phone and go, "Oh, this is what I'm meant to do," right? Okay, that's it. So it's something we're in the middle of developing anyway.
Nobody wants to get in an accident, but if there's just something that can make your life that bit easier, I've got your details. I'm going to put it up onto the screen so that people that watch the podcast, they can just
Yes.
get in touch. And if it turns out that you've got this app on the way, I'll make sure that I can shout that out as well.
This one will be exclusive for you and your driving school and your podcast and stuff, Gary.
Oh, lovely.
But we might, roll that out other places. As I said, we've done similar for fleet companies. But I mean, basically, if it's not your fault, then it shouldn't be your headache.
Aye.
Do you know? So that's where we come in, and we're happy to take all that, onus of dealing with everything for you. Whether it's the vehicle, the property damage, whatever it is, then yeah, call Cass. We offer free and partial advice anyway. No stress, and it's no cost to the clients, even if they decided after that call that they still wanted to go through their insurance.
Right.
There's no harm done, but we're just happy to help, basically.
It's one of those things where, in the nicest possible way, you kind of hope that we don't need you, but it's good to.
Correct, yes.
Well,
But good to know that Cass is at the other end of that phone
that's
if we
right.
do. And yeah, and thanks for listening to me.
Thank you very much for coming on and clarifying that.
So there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching if you've stuck around. There's more episodes to come, obviously, for this season. This is just episode 1. If you haven't already done so,
For more awesome content, like and subscribe now.
do what that guy says, like and subscribe now. Tell a friend, share it, post on your Facebooks and blah, 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 blah. And we will see you next time on the Drive and Drivel podcast. Thank you. That was cheesy. Let me do that again. We will see you next time. Okay. Right, guys. Thanks for hanging around. We will see you next time on the Drive and Drivel podcast. Peace out.